Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to deliver your December 2016 general readings. I am still using the Gilded Tarot deck by artist Ciro Marchetti, drawing 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week, with an additional card from the bottom of the deck as your crowning card, representing overall energy and advice for the reading. These are general readings, as you're probably tired of hearing us all say, but we have to say that because there's a lot of you watching and they're going to mean different things to different people, resonate differently depending on who's watching. So make sure to check your rising and your moon sign videos as well if you can and if you know them. You may find that they play out for you a little more predictably this month or other readings. And watching all three, you may get just different pieces of the puzzle. Each of your signs may resonate for different areas of your life, so that by watching all three of them together, you get a clear and cohesive picture of the time frame ahead that the readings cover. So watch all three if you can. A special thank you always to those of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe and follow so faithfully and so loyally. I love reading all of your comments and your feedback, particularly the ones where you describe how the readings are playing out for you in your lives. And welcome to any newcomers that may be watching for the first time today. Thank you also to those of you who continue to reach out for one-on-one readings. It's a pleasure and an honor always to read for you, and I am very grateful for the trust that you place in me to interpret and intuit the cards for you. And thank you to my regular clients for allowing me to be a part of the chapters of your life as they continue to unfold, and for the regular updates that you send me on how the readings continue to play out in your lives. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, which has a little more information in detail and my email address. You can email me directly at Maggie, the number one, McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you or anyone else. We are in the holiday season, and I'm already getting requests for gift purchases for friends and family and loved ones. The gift of a personal reading is quite unique to the person who gets it. So if you're interested in purchasing a personal reading for anyone, again, just email me directly and we will go from there. I do readings full time, 6 days a week, so I'm able to get back with you quite quickly and schedule a reading within a fairly short time period. My current turnaround time is anywhere from a couple of days up to a couple of weeks, but almost always within 2 weeks we can set something up for you. So moving right along, let's get right into this reading. This is for Pisces for December 2016. Pisces, December 2016. What does the month of December 2016 have in store for the water sign of Pisces? The fish, our lovely, fluid, mercurial Pisces. What do they need to see? What do they need to know to successfully navigate through December 2016? Pisces. Okay, we begin with the Eight of Cups, followed by the Sun, the Three of Pentacles, followed by the Hierophant, the Six of Cups, followed by the World, and the Seven of Swords, followed by the Seven of Wands. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and advice is the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So let's just take a look, Pisces. I'm getting the feeling that a lot of you, of course, it's going to play out specifically differently for everybody watching, but I get the feeling that a lot of you, like some of the other signs I've done so far, really want to walk away from something, leave something behind. Some of you have made the decision already to walk away and leave something behind, a situation, a relationship, a job, because there's just such a constricting, for some of you, it's a restrictive, constricting feeling. You're bored with it anymore. There's just too much. It almost feels like for some of you, there's just too much of the same boring day after day energy of it. And it feels like some of you have the energy where you feel you may be being exploited or taken advantage of, or you've compromised beyond the point that you're willing to compromise anymore. So let's begin, Pisces. We find ourselves at the beginning of December 2016 with the energy of the Eight of Cups, accompanied by the Sun. So the Eight of Cups, this is the walking away card. Cups is governed by the element of water. It's a suit that rules the area of our life that deals with emotions, feelings, relationships, love, all different kinds of relationships and all different kinds of love. The Eight of Cups is a card of turning your back, cutting free, walking away from that which you have ultimately found to be disappointing, disillusioning, disappointing, not fulfilling, not where you find your joy. It could be that at the beginning of whatever this is, the situation, relationship, job, etc., project, it could be that in the beginning it was presented to you to be something else and it turned out to be not what you expected it to be or not what you wanted it to be. And it could just be that you've just been doing it for too long. It served its purpose. But again, there's a strong feeling of either having made the decision to leave something behind or wanting to make the decision, really almost desperately wanting to leave something behind because it just feels too heavy, too constricting. Perhaps something has happened quite recently where you feel, I'm looking at the sevens at the end of the month here too, the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands. It feels like perhaps you've been taken advantage of or exploited somehow, and a sense of maybe having compromised and negotiated for way too long past the point where you're happy. You can see that this man has turned his back on whatever it is that these Eight Cups represent for him. Some of them are upright and full, some of them are tipped over and spilled out, implying that he has tasted and drunk from most, if not all, of these cups. And while he may have found them satisfying at the time or interesting at the time, he's come to the end of them and they're not what he wanted, not what he thought they were going to be. So he's made his decision to turn his back on them, to cut them free, to move on to something else. He's has his back turned to us. He's dressed for travel. And all that's left is to decide which direction he's going to walk in, which path he's going to choose. It's a card of walking away, wanting to turn your back. Now, the Eight of Cups is accompanied by the Sun, which is a beautiful card. One of the best cards in the tarot, if not the best card in the tarot. The Sun amplifies all the positive energy in the reading and lessens the impact of any negative or challenging energies in the reading. And there's a strong element of fun with the Sun card. When you see the Sun card, it represents a loosening up of restrictive energies, good times, fun, love, laughter, warmth, light, illumination, everything that you think of when you think of the sun. A lot of social activities, brightness, kind of a sickness into health, darkness into light, winter into spring kind of feeling. If finances have been tight, it can represent a loosening up of those energies. Basically, and also if you feel like you've been in a situation where you haven't had enough information to make a decision or a choice on something, the Sun ensures that that is coming. So paired with the Eight of Cups, Pisces, again, it's walking away from something so that you can breathe again, so that you can have fun again. For some of you, it's just going to be, you're just kind of, it feels like you're fed up with your life as you know it, kind of the same restrictive energies or just doing the same thing over and over again. Perhaps some of you have been working very hard or working a lot of overtime, or you just come to the point where you need a time out, you need a vacation, you really want to get away from something. Some of you are making this, some of you have already made the decision to leave whatever the situation, job, project, career, or relationship this is. You've already made the decision to walk away. I feel like for a lot of you, some of you, this is going to be a relationship. Some of you, but a lot of you, I feel more like a career, work, project oriented energy around this. Kind of a feeling of heaviness and drudgery. But again, for some of you, there's a sense of feeling like you've compromised for too long. And some of you, I feel, are feeling as if you have been taken advantage of for too long, exploited too long, or just been giving and giving without getting anything back or without getting enough back. So next to the Eight of Cups and the Sun, we have the Three of Pentacles paired with the Hierophant. So the Three of Pentacles, Pentacles is earth energy. It's the suit that rules things like money, finances, job, career, projects, work, resources, assets, tangible physical things in our material world, in our earthly world, in the world around us that we navigate in on a day-to-day basis. The Three of Pentacles is a card of compromise and negotiation. It's a card of working with other people in order to achieve a common goal, a common cause, trying to come to a meeting of the minds, everybody kind of working together to achieve one common goal. It's not a card of being set apart or recognized for your own personal individual efforts. It's a card of teamwork or working together with other people. And in order to do that, there's a certain level of compromise and negotiation. This can be positive or this can be, a challenging energy. Sometimes I see this card come up when somebody has to work within or compromise and negotiate with someone or a group of people that they would prefer not to, but they're kind of stuck in it. So it's about making the best um, of a less than ideal situation and just compromising and negotiating enough to come to a common agreement or to achieve a common goal. Now, the Three of Pentacles is paired with the major arcana card of the Hierophant. The Hierophant is all about tradition, convention, walking the prescribed path, crossing the T's, dotting the I's. It can represent conventional relationships, marriage, taking a relationship to another level. For some of you, it could be a relationship issue where your relationship has reached a point where it's time to make a decision to move to the next level. It seems the most appropriate thing, but some of you are just you're not ready for that, or you've come to that point. You've decided it's not something you want to do. This can represent organized religion. It can represent higher education, corporations, big businesses, institutions. For some of you, the situation could be your job, your career path, your work. Perhaps, and again, with this Three of Pentacles, it could be working within a large corporation or business. Could be, being in college or school. There's a sense of having to work with other people and compromise and negotiate, which, really, whether you view it positively or negatively depends on the surrounding cards. But again, for a lot of you, I feel like you're just kind of fed up with this energy. Some of you, you're just tired. Perhaps you've been in school for a long time and you just need a break. You're done with it. Work, career, maybe the people that you're working with, you've hit an impasse with. Some of you, it's just going to be wanting to take a break, needing to take a break. We're going into the holidays. Perhaps you've been working a lot or putting in a lot of overtime. But for some of you, it runs a little deeper than that. Because again, I feel like some of you have reached the point where whatever situation you're in, you feel as if you've given enough. You've been giving maybe too much and not getting enough in return. Some of you are feeling like you've been exploited or taken advantage of, perhaps in a work situation or in a relationship situation. It could be in college. It feels like you have been giving to people or trying to please people, compromising and negotiating perhaps a bit too much, and you've reached the point where you're just kind of fed up and you want to be done with it. You want to walk away from it. Perhaps some of you, it's a difficult job situation or a work environment as well. It could even be in a religious environment as well, and within a church circle that you're in, or something like that, or a learning situation, educational environment. It's going to play out differently depending on who's watching, because there's a lot of you watching. So next to that but there's this sense of structure and order and discipline, and which in and of itself is not a bad thing. But for you Pisces, especially being the mercurial water sign that you are, feels like my hair is trying to push the headphones right off my head today. Being the mercurial, lovely, fluid water sign that you are, it can be kind of difficult and challenging for you to be in this environment. It really feels like break time for you, or time to be done with whatever this is. So next to that, we have the Six of Cups paired with the World. I just got the phrase done with giving in my head for some reason for you guys. So the Six of Cups. Cups is that water energy. Again, feelings, emotions, relationships. The Six of Cups is a card associated with the past, uh, childhood even, the long ago past, the recent past, but typically more long ago past childhood. It can represent looking back at a time where you felt a lot more carefree and childlike, as this picture depicts, a time where you had less cares and worries and burdens that you do today. It can represent family. It can represent your roots, childhood. It can represent travel. The number 6 can represent travel and movement as well. So some of you may be traveling back to see family, traveling back to where you grew up, roots of origin, old friends, etc. We are in the holiday season, so some of you may be traveling back to spend some holiday time with friends and family from your past. It can also represent having a rather childlike or naive view on things, kind of like looking at things through rose-colored glasses. But it's a card about the past. It can represent people coming up from the past who may be significant for you as well. But I think for a lot of you, it feels more like a childhood, friends and family kind of feeling for you. And again, some of you may be traveling. I'm getting to spend time with family for the holidays or people from your past that you grew up with. The Six of Cups is paired with the World, which is a great card, major arcana card. The World is a card, it's the last card in the tarot. It's a card of achievement. It represents having reached a point in your life where you stop to take a moment to reflect back on a path, reflect back on the history of how you got from point A to where you are now. Taking time to acknowledge everything that it took, everything that you've been through, everything that you've achieved, everything that you've endured, acknowledging your skills, your talents, your worth, your value as a human being, everything that you've been capable, that you've accomplished, and what you might yet be capable of. It's as if you've reached the top of a mountain and all of a sudden it hits you that you've made it, and you're taking the time to kind of look back on the path and reflect how it is you got here. It's a great card. It's a card of completion and achievement. And paired with the Six of Cups, this is going to split off a variety of different ways for those of you watching. It could be that you're in this energy, you want to get away, you can't wait to get away from this thing. It could just be, you need a break, I need a vacation. I can't wait to get away from the day-to-day life and my job. You're taking some time off for the holidays, you're traveling back to see family, and it's exactly what you need. There may be people associated with your past or just simply being around your friends and family that you grew up with, help you kind of remember who you are and remember how far you've come. There may be some people that you go to see or that come into your life from the past. Perhaps you have family coming in, and there's this sense of it being beneficial and almost healing for you and helping remind you how much you've achieved and how far you've come. For some of you, this combination of energy is just all about the reflection. You're at this point where you're considering whether or not to leave this situation behind, this job, this career path, this educational pursuit, a relationship perhaps, and you're looking back, you're reflecting back on the history of it. When you started, whether it's a relationship or a job or whatever, everything that you've put into it, perhaps kind of considering if it's worth continuing in or not. Overall, again, kind of, I get this really strong feeling that it feels as if you're at the point where it feels as if you've invested more than enough, and you're just kind of spending time reflecting on that. And it could be for some of you, you just want to leave it all behind and go back to a place in the past and stay there. Some of you may be relocating or moving back to a place where you grew up in or felt better about. Now, at or towards the end of December 2016, we have a combination. We have two sevens, and sevens in the tarot, sevens in numerology are a number which is it's a contemplation energy. It's about reflection, assessment, motives, motivations. We have two sevens. We have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Swords, Swords is air energy. It's a mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. It's about what goes on up in our heads, words, ideas, communication, belief systems, outlooks, perspectives, how we think about things. The Seven of Swords is a card often referred to as the thief card. It can represent actual tangible theft, money, property, resources, etc. It can represent kind of feeling exploited or taken advantage of, and this can be anywhere from your job to personal relationships, feeling like you're giving and giving and giving, and someone or someone's is taking and taking and taking, and you're not getting anything back or you're not getting enough back. This can represent deception, things being hidden, uh, things not always someone or a situation presenting itself to be uh, one way when in fact you come to find out that it's actually something completely different, whether it's a job or a relationship of some kind. Uh, there is a sense of being depleted as well with this energy. And again, I feel like it's related to whatever it is that you're this energy that you were feeling at the beginning of the month of feeling just done. You've compromised, negotiated enough, you've given enough, you're not getting enough back. And there's this strong feeling of wanting to cut something free, cut something loose. And what that is specifically, of course, is going to vary for each of you. But it feels like at the end of the month, and it could be because of a trip you take or, family that comes in or friends that come in that you're spending the holiday with. There's something about it which at the end of the month it feels like you're back in contemplating what to do about this situation because again you feel like you're being depleted, just taken from, whether in a very tangible way, like maybe you're not getting paid enough for your work, um, or in a more energetic, personal way within a relationship. And the Seven of Swords is accompanied by the Seven of Wands, which is a defensive card. It's a card about actually holding your ground, standing up for, protecting, defending something that you feel you've invested a lot of yourself into. You can see that this man is holding his wand up in a defensive gesture because he feels like what he's defending, his home, his castle, his keep, or whatever it is that's important to you, is being challenged or threatened somehow by these other six wands. So it can be a card of standing up for yourself or for somebody else, but it's something that you feel strongly about, something that you feel like you've invested a lot in. And with this Seven of Swords, there's a sense of somebody trying to it could represent somebody trying to actually take something away from you, whether it's actual tangible, whether it's a job, a relationship of some kind. There could be some competitive energy here, but it's about standing, whatever it is for you, Pisces. I feel like at the end of the month, you make a decision, or there's a strong message from Spirit here about holding your ground. If you feel like you've compromised and negotiated enough and you've given too much of yourself, it's time to actually stand up for yourself, to take a stand about something. And whether or not that means that you continue with whatever this is or you make a decision to cut yourself free from it, there is a very strong element of not allowing this situation to continue because you're being depleted, you're being exhausted, you're being taken from, and it doesn't feel like you're being given enough. And it could be that you get a bit of a break right before the end of the month. And this helps kind of clarify things for you, particularly those of you who are maybe going away or taking a little vacation for the holidays. It feels like maybe that is clarifying for you. And I'm getting that the Six of Cups in this World card too. I'm getting that for some of you, what you need to do is actually take a step back, perhaps take a trip away, go and visit old friends or family, because they will help put something in perspective or it will help clarify this for you because there is a sense at the end of the month of you don't need to tolerate anymore whatever it is that you've been putting up with. Now, your crowning card, your overall energy is the Six of Pentacles in reverse, which is kind of an echo of this. In the upright position, it represents kind of a sense of symbiosis of equal giving and taking, giving and receiving. It can represent the actual giving of a gift. Perhaps some of you were maybe supposed to get a Christmas bonus or something and you didn't because you got it in the reverse for overall energy. It can represent that the situation or relationship you're in is uneven and it needs to be evened out. Someone's giving and not receiving, somebody's taking without giving an equal amount back. It can represent somebody being very closed off and guarded, not willing to give very much, not being open. In the reverse, it's again an unevenness in the energy of the give and flow in a relationship, whatever that relationship is, whether it's personal, love, romance, friendship, family, or within a work environment or a learning environment again. So the overall energy is, and I feel like it's a decision you come to at the end of December as well, Pisces, of coming to kind of a crossroads where you're like, I'm not happy with the way things are. I feel like I've given enough. I feel like I've compromised enough. There's some kind of energy connected to the past here that helps kind of clarify things where you reflect back on the path of everything that you've invested in this, how much it's cost you, in contemplating and considering whether or not to continue. And at the end of the month, there's this strong message and strong theme of standing up for yourself, of kind of drawing a line in the sand and setting your boundaries, whether that means you're actually walking away from whatever this is, or you're going to stay, but the playing board is going to be leveled out and evened out, and you're not going to compromise and negotiate on that anymore. And rightly so. It's time to kind of stand up and let people know where you're coming from and what is no longer acceptable to you anymore. So good for you, Pisces. So that pretty much sums up December for you, Pisces. I hope you've enjoyed this reading, or at least found it useful. Perhaps giving you some food for thought, a little bit of wisdom and enlightenment. Thank you so very much for watching it. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the December 2016 mid-month readings. And again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the About button for a little more information. And you can also email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to set up a reading with you, or a gift reading for anybody else for the holiday season as well. Thank you again for watching, Pisces. And until I see you again, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.